Hi, everyone. This is Lauren Sapala, and
I'm Jacob Nordby.
we are here to talk to you about the Heal Plus Create Writers Retreat. I think if you are watching this video, you know either me personally or you know Jacob personally. Some of you know both of us, and you know that we are writers, and specifically we are writers who help and teach other writers to fully blossom and fully step into their writing power, which is kind of a difficult thing to do for writers, especially if you're starting out or you're struggling with a lot of self-doubt, you're struggling with a lot of fear. These are really common stumbling blocks for a lot of writers. A lot of writers don't know they're really common stumbling blocks. They think that something's just wrong with them, and they internalize that as, I'm just not cut out to be a writer. Jacob and I know that that's absolutely not true. Both of us have worked with hundreds of writers, and we know that it is possible to go from feeling really stuck, really frustrated, like you're not making much progress with your writing, you're not seeing any measurable results, to a place where you feel really good about your writing. Writing is joyful again. You feel like you're a kid again creating. And Jacob, I know you can speak to that. You've seen, gosh, I don't even know how many writers make this transformation. Before we got on this video, we were talking about our clients who have actually written books, and they've finished the journey.
Yeah.
Can you speak to
bring,
that?
Yeah, did you bring some of yours? Because I did. I found, and just with a walk through my bookshelf, I just found a handful of books from people, and this is a fairly recent one, poetry and photography, Paul David Shea. So many, Lauren, and after working with, and you too, I mean, we've worked with so many writers, and watching the writers who die of shame. They catch on to the dream that they've had for a really long time. Yes, I want to write. Yes, I want to bring forth my own creations. And then along the way, they run into these what for you and for me now are very predictable stumbling blocks, but it's so easy to go into isolation and just feel like I'm never going to figure this out. I guess I'm not one of those people who can actually finish a book.
I get those emails all the time, and they're so sad. And so I can't tell you how many people have emailed me and said, I don't want to die with my music still inside of me. You know, that's the quote I hear so much, and it breaks my heart every time, because you don't have to die with your music still inside of you. If you're watching this video and you are one of these writers who has this cherished dream that you've hidden away in your heart for so long, there is hope, and there is a safe place where your writing is not going to be critiqued. You're not going to be judged. You're not going to feel like you are being evaluated if you're a good writer or a bad writer, or you need to impress people, or your writing needs to be a certain standard, or you're going to be judged as an amateur. All of this stuff that you see in so many other writing circles, that is not what Jacob and I are about. Jacob and I are about a very gentle, loving energy that will help you to unfold your petals naturally and at your own pace. And that makes for the best writing. And that's why we created this program that we're about to talk about just a little bit. We're going to give you a little bit of taste of it in this video. This is the first of 3 videos we're going to send out, giving people a taste of our program, kind of the energy, see if you like it, see if it resonates with you, see if you get a big yes from your soul on this. The writing program, it's for writers like you. It's for writers of all levels. If you are ready to write, but you don't know how, if you're a total newbie, you don't know what you're doing, if you're scared to start and you want some support, the Heal Plus Create writing community is for you. And we're kicking off the program with a weekend retreat that's happening in just about a week and a half from when you'll get this video, May 21st and 22nd. Jacob, can you give them some details?
Well, I'm so excited, Lauren. And this writers community program has been in our hearts for, I don't know how long you and I have been working together, years and years, with the idea that we love doing courses and retreats and transformational experiences where people get into the energy of, oh, wow, this is possible. I can do this. What my heart kept breaking a little bit every year as people would come to my things and then they would go away and they would say, I don't know what happened after I went away from this. I just sort of lost my mojo. I lost my courage, whatever. And so developing an ongoing community where there is all the things that Lauren mentioned earlier, the connection, the support, the feeling of it being a safe place for you to explore and discover and start to create. But then as we were putting together the invitation page for this, I was like, why don't we do this with a writer's retreat kickoff where you can come and be part of this, even if you can't yet commit to being part of the full-on writers community program. You can come and actually learn from and go into highly experiential work with Lauren and with me. And then we have some special guests. I'm so excited about this. My friend Julia Cameron is going to come on as a special guest during the retreat weekend. And then Lauren, your friend, Anna Marie, tell us about her a little bit.
Oh, Anna Marie OBrien. She's actually one of the people's books I brought today. She was my client, and she came to me and she said, none of the traditional writing methods are working for me. She's like, I'm looking at writing craft books, taking writing classes, all this stuff. And this stuff feels like it's not built for me, or something's wrong with my brain because it's not clicking. It's holding me back. I feel frozen. And I need help, and I'm scared to ask for help. And we worked together, and she produced her memoir, which is a beautiful memoir, Adventures of a Metalhead Librarian. She's now a writing coach herself. She's launched her own business as a writer and a writing coach. So she is one of my success stories. And her book is beautiful, and it was not an easy road to get there. Yeah. And that's really what this program is about. This is not a program about time management or productivity hacks, or write your book in 30 days, or, win the contest and win life. It's not what this is about. This is for real people who are busy, are stressed, don't know what they're doing, are full of self-doubt. You can have an extremely busy life. You can have a lot of stress going on and a lot of fear of like, how am I ever going to get this done? And how am I going to sandwich this between all the other activities in my life? And it can still happen. Jacob and I have designed this program so that it can work for people with real lives, not people who have 5 hours a day to write. It's not about that. So whoever you are, at whatever level you're at, there's something in this program that could work for you.
Yeah. And Lauren, as you were saying, I was just thinking my first book, I wrote during breaks at a part-time job. I had 2 or 3 part-time jobs at that time. And I wrote most of that book during breaks. And I'm curious, because you've written so many books and you've an incredibly busy life. Like even now, you probably don't often have 5-hour stretches down and write your book, do you?
Oh no. And people, they either don't believe me or they're shocked, because I have 5 published books. And I wrote all of them in my silent writing groups, which is 1 hour a week, literally 1 hour a week. I've been doing 1 hour a week since 2006. And I've got 5 published books, and I've got more in the pipeline coming, and you will see those come out in the coming years. And they've all been done 1 hour a week. So it can be done. You can have a full-time job, you can have kids, you can have a real life, and you can still write your book. You don't need to wait until you're retired. You don't need to wait until the inheritance comes through. You can just be yourself right now and still experience this transformation from being very unhappy and feeling creatively unfulfilled to having that feeling like you're falling in love. Like you wake up in the morning and you're excited to be awake and alive in the world because you've got stuff going on. You've got something you're really passionate about.
Yeah. And Lauren, I just wanted to say too, like you were giving a list of all the different things, ways people have probably tried. Like if you've signed up for NaNoWriMo, 10 years in a row and never quite finished it. Or, one thing we love here is the process of self-discovery, which leads to self-acceptance. And that leads to transformation, which in our lexicon simply means you find out who you are and you become that, you become more of that. And so transformation is a big word that we will use during this program and during the continued community, because it really does meaning finding out what kind of writer you are. So many people have, I'm curious if you've had this, Lauren, so many people have showed up to me carrying around the really heavy ghosts of other people's dreams and expectations and comparison. And I had one lady I'm thinking of right now in particular who she had a bunch of dogs who had been her companions down through their lives and had lived and died, and they taught her all these lessons. And then when she came to me, though, she was laboring under this. How can I get this on Oprah's book club? How can I get this on? And as we spent time together and very gently walked around the dream that she had, we discovered that wasn't what was important to her at all. What was really important was writing this book that had lived in her heart for so many years. And it made me so happy when she showed up at one of the events in Santa Fe and brought a copy of her book. And she said, you know what? I can die happy now because I've done this one thing, and it doesn't matter to me that this will never be getting the big awards or anything like that. And some people it really does. So that's really what we're here for, is to help you through the process of finding out what kind of art lives inside of you. I love that. Don't let your music die inside of you, Lauren, because that's really in our heart, is not to make you into our kind of writers, but make you into the kind of writer where your very unique creative gift lives, you know?
And I'm so glad you shared that story, because in so many of the writing programs and the writing culture out there, it's all about the external. It's all about getting the award, getting on the bestseller list. And I think it's very easy for writers to say, well, if I'm never going to be able to do that, then my writing is worthless. Why try? Why am I doing this? Who's going to read this? Who will even care? For all you memoir writers out there, I know that's a big one. Who will even care? And then the flip side is, oh my gosh, everyone's going to read it and judge me. So we're going to be working on psychological issues like this, the really deep energetic stuff. Like, really, what are the beliefs in there that are just holding you stuck? You know, like, what's the old baggage that needs to go? What can we let go of that's no longer serving you? We're going to be doing all that and more in this new writing program. Now, I want to say in our next video, we're going to give you a little bit of teaching, just a little example of what we're going to be doing in this community. We're going to be talking about journal writing. So for those of you who have a journaling practice or have always wanted a journaling practice, stay tuned for our next video in the series. And in the meantime, if this is resonating with you, if you're like, wow, these people are speaking my language, like this is the kind of program I need, please send us questions. There's a link in the email that you got this video in that leads to the Heal Plus Create site. You can scroll down and use the contact form there. If you're in touch with me or Jacob already, you can just email us directly. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment in the comments box below. Both Jacob and I are on Twitter or on Facebook. We are in a multitude of places. So if you have questions about this retreat, weekend of May 21st or 22nd, if you're saying, I want to go, but I've got a previous commitment, you know, I can't make it live. What does that look like for me? Pricing, scheduling, what's going to be offered? If you're a good fit for the program or the retreat, Jacob and I would love to talk with you about all of those details. So please get a hold of us, because the registration window for the retreat will be closing Friday, May 20th. I think I have that right, Jacob? Friday, May 20th. And you won't be able to get in after that. You're not going to be able to buy the recordings after the fact or anything like that. So it's kind of now or never. If this retreat's speaking to you, get a hold of us. Let's get those questions answered. I think that's it for this video, unless you have anything else you'd like to add, Jacob.
Well, so much more, but let's do that in the next video.
Okay, everyone, we will see you for video 2 in just a couple days, all about journaling practice. So long. Thanks.
Bye.